Cheat on me for the fifth time? You can walk a mile naked to get a ride. Excuse the formatting and sloppy text. It's 4 AM and I've been drinking, but I thought this may be pro-revenge material. Before I got married I was with the same guy, my high school sweetheart, for almost 6 years. He was both verbally and physically harmful, but that's not what this story is about. I found out around the end of April 2015 that this ex was cheating, once again. Found out by looking through his phone, which he agreed to random checks to after the last incident. I hadn't checked in a while, so he apparently got too comfortable. For some reason, I felt the urge that night to check his poop. We had gotten an apartment together a few months prior that both of our names were on. That night, I looked through his phone and found that he was cheating, yet again, with some random girl he'd met. He was bragging to one of his friends and said she knows our relationship is over. We're basically just roommates at this point. As far as I knew, our relationship was going great. It even spent hours that same night cooking him dinner and putting a brand new kitchen table together by myself because he was too much of a little witch to do it himself and I wanted him a nice place to eat for once. After reading these texts, I woke him up and immediately told him to GTFO as we were done. He started putting on his pants and I said fuck no, GTFO right now with what you have. What did he have on? Tighty whities. His phone was in my name. All of our cars, 3 total, were in my name, and the majority of his clothes I had bought him throughout the years. We lived basically on a college campus that had only one gas station, which was a mile away. I was also the only one working, so all of our income was mine. I kicked him out, no shoes, phone, wallet, money, clothes, or car keys. He walked a mile like that to the gas station to call his mom to come get him at 4 AM. I let him pick all his stuff up, a month later, from the landlord's, all boxed up neatly. Immediately turned off the phone that same day and cancelled his cards to my account. He tried all his might to get me back, stating that he knew I was the right one and he wanted to marry me. I said no. I even got him to come clean the entire apartment a few weeks later while I napped after an extremely long day and he groveled. I woke up to tell him to GTFO again. Not to mention I threatened to take his past household harm issues against me to the police, had documentation, if he didn't pay half of the rest of our rent up front since his name was also on the lease, to the tune of $3,000 USD. We live in a state famous for horse racing and he worked 12 hours a day for multiple days at the track, during May, the busiest time in the year for horse racing on the planet, to pay it while I was also there, dressed fabulously, drinking mint juleps. It felt wonderful and I got together with my now husband, who treats me great, the same week that I kicked him out. Best thing I've ever done. Just picturing him walking into a gas station at 4 AM to ask to use the phone and call his mommy while naked still makes me giggle like a little girl close to 4 years later. Don't ducking cheat on me, especially not the 5th time around or I'll ducking screw you over, big time. Too long, didn't read, my ex cheated on me for the 5th time while all aspects of our financials were in my name. Made him walk a mile, basically naked to call his mom to get him at 4 AM. Then didn't give him any of his things that were basically legally all mine things until a month later while simultaneously made him grovel and fork over $3,000 to make him pay for his loose ends of things. Edit, I understand that staying for as long as I did was stupid, but at least I finally wised up and saw him for who he truly was. I also understand that this seems petty, kind of ruthless, and somewhat questionable on a legal level. I was young, stupid, petty, kind of crazy, and didn't care about the legal ramifications at the time. I've fought off my demons and have grown as a person and am much better for it now. This happened years ago and while it seems kind of shady, it was still revenge. r/pro-revenge in my opinion. Edit 2, a lot of people are hung up on me taking him back 4 times, so I'll clear that up a little. I found out about 3 instances at once, years after they happened. I took him back on the premise he had changed. The 4th time was during a rough patch and I stupidly forgave him. 5th time was answered with the above story.
Hey guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out, thanks.
Is it legal to kick someone out of a house they are on the lease of? You can tell someone to leave, and if they agree to leave, yes, it's legal. Even if he just woke up and is disoriented, I imagine he oriented himself pretty quickly and realized why it was happening. He would be well within his legal right to stay, and she would have to serve him a written eviction notice, and have however many days to wait before going through with a legal eviction. That's his legal right. However, he appears to be just smart enough to realize it won't go well for him if he stays. Because of the implication. It took you being cheated on 5 times to do something about it. There are no winners in this story. I was young and a complete idiot coming out of a family riddled with mistreatment. I finally wised up and realized that I deserved better. I won because I got out of the relationship and found someone who treats me like a queen. I do admit I was an idiot for staying as long as I did though. Glad it worked out well for you in the end. But if I learned anything from my cheating ex, it was if you can't trust them enough to not check their phone, the relationship has no future, and by continuing it you are making both people miserable. I agree. I have no jealousy issues with my husband now and don't check his phone. Doing all that in the past didn't do anything but stress me out. The way I see it, if my husband is going to cheat, he'll do it regardless of my rules, and it's not someone I want to continue a marriage with anyhow. There is a woman out there that will build a table and cook a meal to put it on all the while working, paying for your car and phone. And that woman is not treated like a goddess. And all she does in retaliation is cut you off and make you do a walk of shame if you cross her, after forgiving you multiple times. OP, I am glad you found someone better, empathize with your woes, and thank you for your story. 5 times. Things happen. To be fair, the majority of the times I didn't find out about until well after the cheating had happened. For example, found out about one time 2 years later. I was naive and believed him when he said he'd change. You both sound kind of douchey and drama riddled from this post. I was young and definitely drama riddled. No shame. Pretty sure the majority of us were at some point.